everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would start filming my makeup collection videos. I'm not super sure how I'm going to split the videos up at this point, if I'm going to do like a video for each category or clump a few of them together. It'll kind of depend how long it takes me to get through each section, so I'll kind of work on that as I go through it. So just a little disclaimer at the beginning, I have a lot of makeup. I'm a makeup lover, I'm a makeup collector, so I might have a lot more makeup than some people, but at the same time, everything in my collection I bought myself. I obviously am not getting sent any products from companies or anything like that, which I think can make the videos a little bit more meaningful. Sometimes when you're getting sent so many products, it's hard to tell like what that person exactly likes or what they're keeping because they were sent it for free. So everything in my collection I paid for myself, and don't feel like you need as much makeup as I do. I can go a little bit overboard sometimes, but anyways, if this sounds like an interesting video to you, keep tuned and we'll get right into it. Okay, so I thought I'd start with my primer collection first. So the first one I'll talk about is the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. This one right here. This was all the rage last year when I think Kim Kardashian had said that this was like her go-to favorite setting spray. And then it came out in Sephora and everybody went crazy for it and was buying it up like no other, even though it is incredibly expensive. It's like 70, what do I want to say, 70 something dollars or something for this like little bottle of setting spray. And it has 40 mils in it, so that's not even a ton. Anyways, if you've seen my end of the year favorites and hateds kind of video, you know that I did not like this. It did not live up to my expectations at all. Like the packaging itself is beautiful, 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 like so beautiful. This beautiful purple bottle, it's heavy, it's got a good weight to it. But the actual product is just way, way too much for me. So I have very like normal skin. So when I put this on, when I spray, like even like 2 sprays on my face, I get so oily within like an hour or 2. Like my face looks like a mess. Like it was crazy. So I had bought this in the summer originally, tried it in the summer, thought, oh my God, I can't even, like I cannot make this work. Like let me see if I can wait till wintertime where I'm a little bit more dry and see if this works a little bit better. Still, it's just too much for me. I think the only kind of people that this product will be like great for are people with super, super, super dry skin. It might look awesome on you, but I think for the majority of other people, this is just going to be way, way too heavy for you and just make you look like an oily mess. So that was unfortunate. So the next primer I have is the BECCA Backlight Priming Filter Primer. So this is a really nice primer. Actually, I really like this. BECCA always has really beautiful packaging. It's a nice heavy weight, has a nice pump to it. You get 30 mils in that, which is pretty typical for any kind of like a primer or foundation. You usually get 30 or 40 mils. It's a really pretty primer though. I use this a lot if I want to look kind of really glowy and dewy without looking oily or greasy or anything like that. It does a really good job at that. It's really nice. This is almost always the primer that I wear when I'm like going downtown or something like that and I want my skin to really glow and look nice in pictures. So this is, you know, pretty pricey, but it's a really nice primer. I do really like this one. So the next thing I have is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I have this in kind of like the deluxe sample size. You get 30 mils in this. You can buy it in a bigger size. It is silicone free, alcohol free, oil free. I remember when this first came out, I was like, primer water? I don't know, that sounds kind of gimmicky and useless to me. So I wasn't super interested in trying it. I eventually did kind of want to try it. A lot of people like swear by this product. For me, it doesn't do a whole lot really. I don't know. I don't love it. It doesn't do anything for me. I will continue using it just to use it up, but it's definitely not something I would like repurchase or anything like that. The other thing that I don't really love about it is that like it's obviously like a spray. I don't find it sprays like finely enough. Like I find if I spray my face, I'm having to wait like a couple minutes for it to dry because it just comes out in too big of, I guess, like particles. Do you know what I mean? So this is not something I'd really recommend. So the next one I have is the Mercier foundation primer in Radiance. These come in a couple different versions. I have the Radiance one, I think there's a matte one, and maybe a couple other. You get 50 mils in this bottle, which is pretty good. It's a pricey foundation primer because it's Mercier. I did really like this when I first got it. I got this one before I got the BECCA Backlight priming filter one. And I was really happy with how well this like made my skin glowy. But now that I have the BECCA one, I don't love this one as much. I wouldn't repurchase it. I just find that the BECCA one, A, gives me better glow to my skin, and B, it kind of absorbs in a little bit better. This to me is a little bit too like moisturizery, sunscreeny feeling where like you rub it in but you can still feel it on your skin, whereas the BECCA one, I feel like once I rub it in, it soaks in really well and it just feels better on my skin. So I do like this one, but I definitely recommend the BECCA one over the Mercier one. So this is one of my favorite primers. So this is the Too Faced Hangover RX Replenishing Face Primer. It is silicone free and it's made with coconut water. It smells just like coconuts. The smell is amazing. A lot of people will compare this one to the Marc Jacobs coconut primer. But this one's a little bit more affordable. This is really great if you're looking to really nourish and moisturize your skin before you put your foundation on. Especially if you are like somebody who has really dry skin and you find foundation doesn't go on your face really well because it's catching on to dry patches or anything like that. This does an awesome job at moisturizing your skin. A lot of times I'll forget to put moisturizer on in the morning, and then by the time I get to like putting my makeup on, I just feel like I've come too far and I am too lazy to go grab it and put it on. So I'll just put this primer on and it is awesome. I love this one. It also has this like awesome pump too. So when you really get down to like the last little bit, it really pumps it out well, but it still stands at the same time. Like I really love the packaging and the product in this primer. I also have this BECCA Ever Matte Poreless Priming Protector. This one has 40 mils in it. So this is obviously to keep you matte and to kind of minimize your pores. This one is also like not my favorite. I do think it does a good job at keeping you matte, but I don't really think that it does a good job at like blurring your pores or anything like that. So when I put this on, I usually just put it on like my nose and like right on my inner cheeks and basically just like my T-zone to keep me from getting oily. Like I have very normal skin, but I am noticing that I'm starting to get a little bit more oily now than I used to be. So I put a little bit of this on. This is definitely not something I would recommend putting like all over your face. It's just kind of too harsh of a product. It's really weird. It's a squeezy tube here, but it's like really thick. Like it's really hard to get anything out. And then when you rub it in, it's clear. It's very silicone-y feeling, but almost like a dry silicone. So when you put this on, I have to put like as little as I can get away with because otherwise it will ball up and not mesh very well with your foundation. So for that reason, this isn't something I would repurchase, but honestly, it'll last me forever because you get 40 mils in this, and I only put this in my like T-zone. I use such a little bit every time I use it that this is gonna last me forever. But this might be something good for somebody who's very oily and doesn't find that other like mattifying primers are really working for them. Because to me, when I think of this, I think of this as like a harsh, heavy duty kind of primer. So it does do a good job at keeping you matte, but not my favorite for me just because you have to risk it balling up and not meshing well with your foundation. So I have the YSL Touche Éclat Blur Primer. You get 30 mils in this bottle, so your kind of typical amount. It's obviously pretty pricey because it's YSL, but it's like the most beautiful product ever. It's got this beautiful gold top, this heavy glass bottle, and the product itself is like this, you know, clear yellowy kind of product with kind of like a gel with like all these like glittery particles in it. It's so beautiful. I originally wasn't expecting too much out of this because I was like, you know, aren't I going to see these like glitter particles all over my face? But it's actually a really beautiful primer. It's definitely one of my favorites. It just does such a good job at like making your face so smooth so that when you put your foundation on, it just kind of glides on and looks so beautiful. And I think it also does a pretty good job of like blurring your pores at the same time. So this for me is a total winner. Here is the infamous Guerlain L'Or primer. For anyone who doesn't know what l'or means, that is French for gold. Everybody just calls this the gold primer. It's an expensive primer. You get actual gold flecks in it. So the yellow that you can see in that bottle are gold flecks. And this kind of took the beauty community by storm when Tati did a WTF on this product and basically was like swearing by it, that it was amazing. So I got so interested and finally kind of broke down and bought it. And do I love this as much as she does? No. Maybe if it was like $30 less than the price that it is. I think this is like $70 or something like that, which is like totally crazy. I would recommend it, but it's just too pricey for what it is. So I thought that this was going to be very similar to like the Touche Éclat Blur Primer. It was really like gel-like and smoothing on the skin, but it actually is very liquidy feeling when you put it on your face. And when you rub it in, it gets kind of tacky, but in like a good way, like not an uncomfortable, gross tacky, but like a tacky where it feels like it's really going to adhere your foundation really well. So it's a really good product like that. I mean, it makes my makeup stay on all day. I feel like I'm less oily. But for the price, oh, I just can't say it's worth it. I will say you don't notice these, like, I was worried that I would see these like gold flecks on my face or something like that. I think they must kind of break down when you rub it in because I never noticed them on my face or anything like that. But I don't know, this is not so worth it for me. I do know that a lot of people say that this makes them feel like their skin is like super tight on their face and like in a good way, like in a face, like, you know, mini facelift kind of way. I noticed that a little bit, but nothing super crazy. I mean, I'm 27, so I don't need like a ton of lifting at this point. But maybe somebody like that would really appreciate this primer. So the next product I have is the GLAMGLOW Glowstarter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer. So this is marketed as a kind of moisturizer slash primer. It's kind of like a pink color. They call it Nude Glow is the shade. It's this pink moisturizer in here. It is definitely really glowy, makes your face look really pretty when you put this on. It's not something I would wear like just on its own as a moisturizer because I think it just looks a little bit strange, like it's so much glow for no makeup, but this looks really beautiful under makeup. You get 50 mils in here, so a decent amount of product, and it smells so good. It has this like sweet kind of tropically smell. Geez, I can never exactly place it though, but I do love the smell of this. Will I buy this again? Probably not, just because I like it, but I do have other primers that like give me that nice glow factor that are a little bit less expensive than this, but I do like this product overall. So the last one I have is this little baby sample of the MAC Prep and Prime Skin Base. A lot of people are into this. I had never tried it before I got this little sample a little while ago, but I do like this. It's like a white lotion. It's got little glitter particles in it. It does a really good job of like smoothing and moisturizing at the same time. So I think it does a good job at making your foundation go on more smoothly. but it's not what I would think of when I wanted to use a primer that was really going to make my makeup last all day. So this is not bad. Would I go out and buy the full size of this? Probably not, just because I have foundation or primers that I like that are really hydrating, like the Too Faced one, or if I'm looking to be really have a really smooth skin, I would use like my Touche Éclat Blur primer, but it's a pretty good primer all in all. So those are the primers that I have in my collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be back with foundations next, I think. I don't know if it'll be attached to this video. I have a feeling it'll be in its own video just because I feel like this one was long enough. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!